What's the emergency?
Everybody's asking about you. Nobody knows where you are. You've ghosted all of your friends and nobody knows why. And you've gotten skinny too, and that pisses me off. You got to put some weight on you.
I had like an entire apple pie on stream the other day just for you.
I didn't get to see it. Do you have another one?
I have most of one. Should I go get it?
Yeah, go get it. Go get an apple pie.
I'll eat fucking pie right now.
Will you?
Yeah, of course.
I'd be delighted to see that.
So we're going to pretend that fraud doesn't, people get charged with fraud in every election. So we're going to pretend it doesn't happen. And we're going to pretend that it was not enough without having any basis for it.
All right, let's put that glass down. Put the glass down.
Well, we got to put more whiskey in it. Pie, I just noticed.
Pie in your mouth. That's what we're looking for now.
Let me
no
get
whiskey.
this pie. Wait. Whiskey and pie. Can't it be both? Easy.
That's how to do it right there. Yeah.
Wait.
Love it. Oh, look at that. An Oreo cookie, too. This is how it gets done right here, guys.
I need a non-alcoholic.
Okay. Fair enough.
Then you need to come on every show and regulate my whiskey intake and just exchange it for pie.
The way that I'm talked about by certain crack smokers on the internet, you think I couldn't appear anywhere publicly without someone trying to come and get shit addressed. We got Dallas Fan Expo next week or 2 weeks, right? We got the meetup. I better be feeling some energy when I'm pulling up there, okay? I better be feeling some energy. If not, we all know that y'all fronting for an audience on the internet. Because the fact that people ain't pulling up, I don't understand that. I'm giving y'all where I'm at, not hiding behind a fucking microphone and a camera. Like, I'm giving you where I'm at. Let's hash it out. Let's talk about it. Let's be men. Let's do confrontation.
Many months later.
Bad boys, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John Brown come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, Yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you?
Ask Murphy about the article he wrote about literally cuckolding his wife. I wish I was joking. True alpha.
Wow.
True.
Wow, you went there with that. I have absolutely no comment on that other than to say that whatever people's perception is about that, it's 180 degrees wrong.
Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg.
My husband finally gave me my wedding gift, and he's here right now.
It's all history. History tells you every day that I've been making tells.
We're gonna what was it? Hashtag swing stream.
What's the rule?
Yes, fingers and toes are digital penetration.
Yeah. I make a man commit to me before he shoves his toes in.
Hold on.
There's a stranger out to you. What to do? Just grab onto some tells.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
My anus quivers at anything bigger than a ring toe.
Daring you better tells. Not ponytails or counting tails.
I was getting footage for his next cuck video on.
Could you please clear up the cuck article you wrote?
I am not going to talk about
Again?
this.
Okay.
And basically, you know what? Fuck you for bringing this up right here and right now. Why are you doing this to me?
I didn't know that. I didn't know what it was.
Well, just use a little bit of fucking common sense.
Sorry, apologies.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Elizabeth.
Heartfelt.
Girl, you know it's true. Ooh.
guy JJ Trujillo,
a talent that came out of nowhere.
and he is making an episodic. He's doing a good job.
Julio, how good are these videos, dude? I mean,
This is the level, yeah, very professionally made. Very well done.
everyone just rolls right into the next. JJ, man, fucking great job. You need so many more subs on your channel to watch these videos.
He's making brief videos that are explaining what the hell is wrong with, ISOM and the whole ISOM meltdown. And these are great because if you watch them, this is JJ Trujillo Writes.
And it's just great content that he puts out on this channel.
Right here, you can see JJ Trujillo Writes. You should subscribe to him.
This is the stuff I like to watch. Like, it's not overdone. It's just factual stuff and presented in a fair and balanced way, like Fox News, fair and balanced.
And it's 5 minutes long.
Recommend everybody in the chat to subscribe to JJ's channel. Check out Long Live the Liar on Amazon. It's only $5.
Good morning, everybody. Actually, wait, it's not morning. What am I smoking? I can't tell you. I can't tell you what I'm smoking. I got it from my friend Nikki Rackets in Minnesota. It's great. I love the stuff, whatever it is. It's kind of like a little sugar, you know, a little powder sugar. But yeah, how are you guys doing? I see a lot of people here. I see JD Kirby. I see Jabba the Cuck, Jose M, Cosmic Vader. I think I know who this is. I think I know who that is. Cursed Heart Creations. Did I say Cosmic Vader already? Thank you, Cosmic Vader, for posting links. I appreciate it for being diligent to that. I'm smoking peyote. It's great stuff. It really sticks. It really sticks in the system pretty well. So I just wanted to tell you guys real quick. I just wanted to tell all of you, I love you all. I'm grateful for you. And thank you. Okay, but now let's get into the show today. I was I don't know. I haven't really talked a whole lot about Critical Drinker lately, just because like every Critical Drinker video is the same. Like there is definitely this curve that exists, and you guys see that this curve. There's a similar curve. Well, let me first explain. There's a similar curve with women, right? You know, like with women, you could be like the worst waitress ever. You could spill scalding sauce on somebody's groin. You could like accidentally spill wine all over their white shirt. And if you're a good-looking waitress, I should say, like you'll still get a lot of money. Like there's just a curve. Like it's suddenly not annoying. Like when someone spills something scalding on your groin or they spill wine on your shirt. If it's a beautiful woman, you're like, it's okay. It's all right. We all make mistakes. But then like if a man does it, then it's like, you know, you get upset. You're like in fight mode, right? There's a similar curve with English people, with Scottish people, with I guess maybe with Irish people a little bit, where every time they talk, Americans for whatever reason think that whatever they have to say could be valid. Like they could literally say something. They could be like, they could say, they could be talking about that lady, that Lindsay lady, who what was her name, who like strangled her kids. They could be like, she was actually not really a bad mom. You see, she actually loved them a lot. She was just a little depressed. And like people would think that like, oh, what that person's saying, it's valid. It makes sense. It's in a British accent. It's suddenly somehow more intelligent. I don't really understand how it works, but like why that works, why does that effect exist? But it does. It does exist. It's real. It's a real thing. And that's basically what we see happening here with Critical Drinker. All he does is he has to say something. Yeah. He has to say something kind of intelligent, and then all of a sudden, he has to say something at all. It doesn't have to be intelligent at all. He just says something kind of sarcastic, and all of a sudden, it's like the smartest thing ever. Jabba the Ender of Finantra Stream says, Lindsay Lohan. I think that was her name. Lindsay Lohan, maybe. But yeah, like everything he says it like in a slightly sarcastic voice, so it's like automatically stupid. Like I guess they thought it would be a good idea to just change the show's name from Green Lanterns to Lanterns, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, he said it in a sarcastic voice. Yeah, there has to be reason to that. But anyway, let's play this real quick.
Remember that Simpsons episode where they go on a tour of the Duff Brewery and you find out that every flavor is just the same crap piped into different containers? Well, that's basically James Gunn's DC.
Piped into different containers, sorry. That's what she said.
You at this point, no matter what movie or
That's
show.
Basically just the DCU at this point. Like, it makes sense when I say it like that. All of a sudden, it makes sense now. That's just the DCU at this point, mate.
You find yourself watching, it's all just slightly different flavors of the same cynical, wannabe, edgy, unfunny, deconstructionist James Gunn slop. In this case, seasoned with a little bit of Damon Lindelof's mildly retarded answer to True Detective, but with all of the intelligence and creativity replaced by his thinly disguised race-baiting political fetishes to produce Green Lanterns. Sorry, it's just lanterns now, because green isn't cool enough for a show about intergalactic space cops.
Because green isn't cool? I feel like his accent should actually make things sound less intelligent. Like if... I don't know why people listen to this. Okay, sorry, let me rewind it a bit. But good on him, good on him. He's found something. He's found his place on the internet.
Seasoned with a little bit of Damon Lindelof's mildly retarded answer to True Detective, but with all of the intelligence and creativity replaced by his thinly disguised race-baiting political fetishes to produce Green Lanterns. Sorry, it's just lanterns now, because green isn't cool enough for a show about intergalactic space cops with magical rings that allow them to manifest anything they can imagine, I guess.
I really don't want to... Do I have to go back to that clip, to that interview? We've already been over this probably 5 times, but they're still running with it. I mean, it was just a dumb joke. It was a dumb joke. Like, they were like, why don't you want to call it Green Lanterns? And he's like, because the color green is kind of gay. And he was wearing like a green shirt while he said it. So it was obviously ironic, but why is it called just lanterns? Maybe because it's also can involve the yellow lantern corps, maybe the red one. That's what I would think. But it's just like this whole narrative when they're like, they hate you. They hate you. They hate the show. They hate the fandom. They just hate you. They just want to kill you. They literally want to drive a knife into your abdomen and slowly pull out your intestines and juggle them in their hands and then squeeze them out of every last drop.
I'm so tired, man. Watching a DC project at this point is a bit like spinning a wheel of fortune to decide the method of your own demise. You know it's ultimately going to be messy and unpleasant, it's just a question of degrees. And having slogged through all 57 minutes of the pilot episode, I can confidently tell you this show is an absolute chore, combining the worst aspects of modern Hollywood character assassination with a tediously slow plot that takes forever to get moving, and dialogue that literally spells out every single thing that just happened, telegraphs what's about to happen so the audience is usually 10 minutes ahead of the writers, and lays out his political...
Okay, so like he says all this stuff. He's like, they just tell you everything that happens without telling you it's happening. And then there's all this political subtext messaging. But the thing is like he's just saying it happened. He's not actually showing instances of it. That's kind of my main issue with Critical Drinker is he'll say things in this annoying voice. He's trying to sound snarky. He's trying to sound intelligent, but then he doesn't actually show clips explaining it. He just says it. And it's true. But to be fair, Chuck Dixon, he did say that this is the greatest. He's like the greatest writing YouTuber or something. He's like he actually knows what he's talking about. I don't know. It's funny.
You know it's ultimately going to be messy and unpleasant, it's just a question of degrees. And having slogged through all 57 minutes of the pilot episode...
You said slogged. I haven't slogged. See, that means he doesn't like it, guys. He's trying to tell you he doesn't like it, and he's using kind of a different word, right? That makes him smart. He knows how to use a thesaurus.
I can confidently tell you this show is an absolute chore, combining the worst aspects of modern Hollywood character assassination with a tediously slow plot that takes forever to get moving, and dialogue that literally spells out every single thing that just happened, telegraphs what's about to happen so the audience is usually 10 minutes ahead of the writers, and lays out its political allegories for modern day American immigration and race issues with all the subtlety of a thermobaric weapon.
Okay, let's take a quick moment to talk about the politics. Cosmic Spader says, by political, does he mean the Obama line? Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Because that was actually really funny and kind of based, you know. LOL, annoying voice. You would be well placed on Hadrian's Wall back in the day. Doug Walker is more entertaining and a better critic. I'll look up. I'll look that guy up. Doug Walker. I'll put that in just a second. Okay, let me pull up a clip real quick for you guys, because I really want to talk about how I feel like this whole line, for some reason people are acting like it's like an offensive line, like liberals should be upset about this line. I mean, conservatives should be upset about this line when they shouldn't. Hal Jordan has always been, I don't know, well, maybe not always, but Hal Jordan has kind of historically been conservative. You know, Hal Jordan would be a pretty base guy, actually. And he's kind of brash. He's daring. He just says what comes to his mind. He doesn't really care about what other people think. He's kind of stubborn. I actually really like the way that Hal has been portrayed in this show. This is a way better interpretation than Ryan Reynolds. They were even making fun of that in Deadpool. I mean, it was that bad. But yeah, it was, let's try and think. When has Green Lantern been portrayed by TV, by a live action movie this well? And the answer is never. It's never happened. There was a Green Lantern movie I saw that someone showed me. It was about Jon Stewart. It was basically kind of an homage of several things, but it was largely kind of sort of like a replay on Emerald Twilight, except for they had it with Jon Stewart instead of Kyle Rayner replacing him. And, it was okay. It was okay. It was better, definitely, than the live action Green Lantern movie, but it wasn't very good. And so anyway, like I'd say, this is really like a great portrayal of Hal. Obviously, this isn't Hal in his prime. This is an aging Hal. I mean, an aging Hal. He's getting a little bit, a little jaded, a little black-pilled maybe, but that happens. This kind of reminds you of when they did the whole reboot of the Green Lantern series. They gave him that white streak in his hair, back when Gerard Jones started writing it, and then it culminated with his turning evil in Emerald Twilight. Like, that's kind of the vibe and the aesthetic that they're pulling here. This doesn't really look like Hal before he was infected by Parallax. So in my opinion, I kind of want them to I don't mind them having Hal die, or as long as like he comes back later, which is what I'm hoping will happen. But we'll talk about that more in a sec.
Hey, I told you I drive a truck. Yeah, I'm sure you can tell me a lot about that truck, but I bet you can't tell me about the Boston Tea Party, Kelly Clarkson, Barack Obama, or
Barack Obama is the president of the United States.
That's it. As a rural Nebraskan, that's the breadth of your opinion of Barack Hussein Obama.
Like, I obviously, like, this is written by liberals, so it's not going to get super intense with I mean, this is good though. This is a pretty great representation of how he's just like, that's the breadth of your opinion on Barack Hussein Obama. It was a great line. And then this guy, he looks confused. You see, he has like this look of angst on him, and he's very troubled because he realized he's kind of stumbled into a minefield, but he doesn't know how to respond right. And so right here, let me just kind of give a backdrop of what's happening. Basically, Hal Jordan, he's the expert. He says these are aliens. There was aliens that basically kind of orchestrated an attack or something, and I will prove it. And nobody believed him. He went into great trouble. Basically, he was thrown into jail. He was, he had he was kind of being mocked by the police and the local judge, and he was being maligned. And nobody believed him. Nobody believed the old, a lot of people are saying, this is racist. Well, you have these two women where they don't believe Hal Jordan. They're femsplaining. They're like, you don't understand. We're girls. And then Hal Jordan's like, actually, I do understand. You guys are just retarded. And then he's like, let me mansplain it for you. And then Hal Jordan actually ends up becoming vindicated. So it's not like all these people who are kind of going to, it's feminist propaganda. No. It's liberal. No, it's not. Like, I think it's, I don't know, like even this joke right here, like, that's the breadth of your opinion about Barack Hussein Obama. That's not a woke joke. It's it's showing that Hal doesn't like Barack Obama. And this alien, by the way, who doesn't have any hard feelings about Barack Hussein Obama, he ends up becoming a suicide bomber. Like, he blows himself up, and then Hal has to save everybody. So it's like, that's kind of funny, actually. Kind of ironic here.
He's the 44th president. He followed George W. Bush. There's some controversy surrounding his birth certificate.
Holy shit, you are an alien.
And even the woman there, that's when she realizes, she's like, he is an alien. He is an alien. And it's clicking in her head because she's like, obviously he'd hate Barack Hussein Obama. And so, yeah, and so anyway, and she's like, yeah, everyone would hate Barack Hussein Obama over here. So, pretty based. All right. I wonder what Jon Stewart thinks. What does Jon Stewart think of Barack Hussein Obama? He wouldn't like him at all either. He's a military guy too. Okay, so that was basically kind of the whole thing about like the political messaging, which was like, Hal's warning everybody that there's these suicide bombing aliens who have illegally snuck into the country, and they want to, cause damage, and they don't mind Barack Hussein Obama. Yeah, that's like the political message, but no, I know like people are like, oh, actually, like the aliens are going to be good. There's going to be like humans who are going to be the bad guys. I think it's going to be both. I think there's going to be bad aliens and bad humans. I think it's actually going to be complicated, but you don't know for sure because this is just the first episode. Maybe there's even some red herrings in there. Maybe that one human who he thought was evil, or who they're kind of like pitting up as evil, possibly. Maybe that's a red herring. Who knows? But that suicide bombing alien, he's clearly a bad guy. I know that for sure. I'm going to rewind it a bit. I think if you're actually going to have... I don't know, never mind.
Spells out every single thing that just happened, telegraphs what's about to happen so the audience is usually 10 minutes ahead of the writers, and lays out his political allegories for modern-day American immigration and race issues with all the subtlety of a thermobaric weapon.
Let's get this over quickly.
Uh-oh. Is that what happened to Nerdrotic in jail when he was selling meth to kids? Is this like a replay of that? Poor guy. He did go to jail in California, so, there would be a lot of swarthy men in there. Hopefully he's okay.
Consider it done, Simon Phoenix. The show picks up in 1996 with a young Jon Stewart. No, not that one. Watching Hal Jordan being interviewed on TV about how he became the Green Lantern until his dad shows up and shoots at him to see if he's scared or not.
Are you afraid?
No, sir.
Yeah, so his dad's obviously very abusive. That's a really shocking scene in real life. If a military, like when military personnel shoot their weapons when they're not supposed to, like it's a huge problem. It's a very, very huge problem. And So what they're trying to show is that Jon Stewart came from a very messed up background, and it's affecting his character.
Consider it done, Simon Phoenix. The show picks up in 1996 with a young Jon Stewart. No, not that one. Watching Hal Jordan being interviewed on TV about...
Not that one. That was so funny. Ha 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 ha. Jon Stewart. Ha 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 ha. He was a comedian on TV. Okay.
how he became the Green Lantern, until his dad shows up and shoots at him to see if he's scared or not.
Are you afraid?
No, sir.
I have to say, though, at least he didn't have a single mom. He has a single dad, so it's like, it's a little better. He has a dad in his life. You know, he might not be a perfect dad. Sometimes he might shoot apples off his boy's head, but at least there's food on the table, right? At least he's trying. At least he's there. I bet he hadn't missed a single basketball game that Jon Stewart had. He was probably the first guy in the bleachers every time.
You know, funny story, I actually tried that once with a crossbow, but it didn't work out quite so well. Wait, we should probably edit that out later. Anyway, flash forward 20 years or so.
That would be a video I'd actually want to see.
And Jon's now being trained by Hal as a kind of backup lantern just in case anything happens to him. Oh yeah, and Hal's a drunk middle-aged loser now who doesn't actually teach him anything useful because the rules of modern writing dictate that any man over the age of 50 has to be a drunk, disheveled loser.
Wait, except for like, if he's like a drunk, disheveled loser, how come he was right? He was right about that guy being an alien, and he stopped him from blowing everybody up. The alien went, Allahu Akbar! But like before he actually hurt anyone, he contained the blast. He's just kind of a grumpy, gruff old guy, you know. He's not disheveled. Like he actually solved a huge conflict a little bit before this, and then he is a little hungover right now because he said he was celebrating after solving a problem. Not a big deal.
My god, it's just so creative, I can't get over it. Anyway, when a mass shooting happens at a football game in small town Nebraska, the boys are deployed to find out what happened. That's when they run into annoying girl boss number 1, who seems...
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Cosmic Vader. He just said that he was a little hungover because he was celebrating, you know, having basically solving a huge problem on another planet. So, anyway, I am hoping that they show Abin Sur give him the ring, because they did mention it, so I was like, oh, that's cool. But we'll see if they actually have that scene play out. It was a little different, you know, like how the condition of how Abin Sur gave him the ring, but pretty cool nonetheless. Okay. Let me go back to showing Luke drinking the milk.
It doesn't actually teach him anything useful because the rules of modern writing dictate that any man over the age of 50 has to be a drunk, disheveled loser. My god, it's just so creative, I can't get over it.
It's literally The Last Jedi, guys. We're literally watching The Last Jedi again. This is literally The Last Jedi, and we're watching that again. Haha, Last Jedi.
Anyway, when a mass shooting happens at a football game in small town Nebraska, the boys are deployed to find out what happened. That's when they run into annoying girl boss number 1, who seems to exist purely to shit talk Hal and delay his investigation for as long as possible to stretch the 20 minutes of actual plot into a 60-minute episodes. But despite her best efforts, Hal uncovers the shooter and he suspects that he's an alien in disguise, but annoying girl boss number 1 won't let him interrogate the guy, even when he gets himself arrested to be sent to the same jail as him. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm no expert on the Green Lantern powers or anything, but couldn't Hal just force his way into the prison if it's that urgent? It's not like a small town sheriff is going to be able to stop him no matter how much of a girl boss she is. What fuck? Girl boss number 1 won't let him interrogate the guy, even when he gets himself arrested to be sent to the...
Girl boss, she wouldn't let him interrogate him. And then she ends up becoming vindicated. So it's actually kind of like a critique of her being a girl boss. Because it didn't play out right, and she was wrong.
Same jail as him. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm no expert on the Green Lantern powers or anything, but couldn't Hal...
So then why do you act like you care? Like you can't compare this to The Last Jedi if you don't really care. I would say that there was actually something comparable to The Last Jedi, probably worse actually, that happened to the Green Lantern, and that was Emerald Twilight. There was no setup for it. It just happened out of the blue, and Hal just all of a sudden he killed all of these people who he was okay with 3 issues prior. And he'd kind of proven himself to be someone who could actually deal with hard things and trauma pretty well. That was kind of how his character was set up. So to have him just all of a sudden go and kill all the Lanterns and kill all, the Guardians, it just didn't feel right. I think it maybe would have felt a little more right if he just killed the Guardians, but I don't know. It just really didn't fit. However, I am going to give the caveat that it was actually remedied. It was repaired. And that was actually, when Rebirth happened. That's when Emerald Twilight actually made sense. Why did Hal suddenly shift? Well, it wasn't him. He was being possessed by Parallax. That's also why, obviously, years later, he was able to sort of save Earth in the nick of time from being destroyed, because he sort of regained control of himself. So it explained multiple different plot lines that actually didn't really make sense, that were kind of a little inconsistent. Actually, when you go to the end of Emerald Twilight, Ron Mars, he actually blatantly admitted, he said, we did not understand Hal Jordan. His character just didn't make sense to us. And we decided to kill him to make it interesting. That's actually what he said. Well, not to kill him, but to make him go evil. Yeah.
He'll just force his way into the prison if it's that urgent. It's not like a small-town sheriff is going to be able to stop him, no matter how much of a girl boss she is. What fucking ever.
Wait. Sorry, let me rewind it.
Was him. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm no expert on the Green Lantern powers or anything, but couldn't Hal just force his way into the prison if it's that urgent? It's not like a small-town sheriff is going to be able to stop him, no matter how much of a girl boss she is. What fucking ever. So the 2 lads eventually get summoned to evil redneck man's house. I know he's evil because he's a white man who lives on a ranch, and immediately starts talking about wanting to protect the planet from anyone who wasn't born there.
How about we both want to protect the planet from anybody not born on it?
Are you getting the subtle messaging yet, dear viewer? Anyway, evil...
Well, it is... What's interesting, though, is Hal actually is pretty skeptical of aliens. And he doesn't really... He's not... He is skeptical of them, but, I mean, he doesn't hate them all. So, I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out, because Hal actually is someone who's set up as being conservative. So I don't think that the message here is that if you have any, qualms with immigration or evil, we'll see. I mean, maybe it ends up being a little woke, but this first episode was actually the opposite of it. There were these snotty women who thought that they knew everything, and then they ended up being wrong. So it really was the opposite of that. You don't have to like it. I'm not saying you have to like it. I just don't like how there's a lot of these false paradigms being used. I don't like how this is a fake review. Like, he says all of these things happened, but he never explained them. Like, there was no setup. It was he's just saying stuff. He's just saying, like, he's just trying to say it was bad, but he doesn't really explain how. He doesn't show how. He's telling and not showing. Okay, JD Kirby said, you disrespected me and Jabba. You're anti-CG. Shame on you. Oh, man. That's horrible. I didn't know I was anti-CG now, but one thing I do know, JD Kirby, is I appreciate you. I appreciate you because you donated tonight. That's really the only reason why. Just kidding. I love your sarcasm. I love that you and Jabba are always insulting me and adding spice to my life, telling me how you hate me, how I'm boring, how I'm ruining everything, how you're only here because Cynic banned you. That's okay. But this is for you.
We got all this money. Look at all the money.
$200.
Thank you. Thank you to you. I appreciate that. Okay, let's pull this back up.
redneck man pulls some strings to get Hal to interrogate the shooter, which is something that should have happened like 20 minutes ago, but fuck it.
Yeah, because she was being annoying, and that was kind of the whole thing. Nobody was taking Hal seriously, and they should have, because they thought they knew better than him, but he ended up being vindicated. I mean, it added to the drama. Like if he didn't have like this government red tape blocking him, he would have been able to solve the problem sooner.
Need to make this episode an hour long somehow. And even though annoying girl boss number 1 is absolutely convinced that he's barking up the wrong tree, Hal's actually proven right, and the man...
Right, so then this is not... Girl boss has proved she's wrong. This is such woke propaganda.
Really is an alien pretended to be human. Then he blows himself up, but Hal...
Yeah, and so again, like, how is it... This is like going against the political messaging. He was like, Allah Akbar! And he blew himself up.
Saves the day with his ring powers, and she's still pissed.
Why he calls it, he saved the day with his ring powers, like trying to make it sound stupid, but it's like, yeah, his powers are ring powers, dude. Like, he clearly has no respect for the show. Why is he even talking about this? He doesn't even like it. So gay. You know what this is like? This is actually like that clip we were watching from the show. Let me open it up again. Let me play this one more time. I know that we already watched this clip. This Barack Hussein Obama clip. Let me play it one more time because this is actually extremely relevant. This is like a perfect analogy for what we see here.
But I bet you can't tell me about the Boston.
Okay, let me rewind it. Wow, son of a gun.
As a rural Nebraskan, that's the...
Hey, I told you I drive a truck.
Yeah, I'm sure you can tell me a lot about that truck, but I bet you can't tell me about the Boston Tea Party. Kelly Clarkson, Barack Obama, or
Barack Obama is the president of the United States.
Barack Obama is the president of the United States. This would be someone being like Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan would be like an actual Green Lantern fan talking to Critical Drinker. Like, you say, the show's bad, but I bet you can't tell me about Green Lantern. And he's like, yeah, Green Lantern. He has the ring powers. Yeah, the ring powers. He has the ring powers. That's basically like what these guys are. It just kind of like surface level hate everything, and I'm not going to say that this is like the best show ever. It's not the best show ever, but it's the best Green Lantern show ever. It's the best Green Lantern adaptation, in my opinion.
To him somehow, seriously.
And I hope that one day we will get like a really good Green Lantern show. Maybe it will be a little goofy, a little bit, which wouldn't be a problem. The Masters of the Universe movie was a little goofy, but it worked well.
Up, but Hal saves the day with his ring powers, and she's still pissed at him somehow. Seriously, fuck off. Flash forward another 10 years, and John returns to the place where it all happened, reunites with annoying girl boss number 1, who somehow hasn't aged a day in 10 years, and together they find Hal's frozen.
He's black. Black people don't age. I don't get it. Like, black men, sometimes you'll be looking at a 6-year-old black man and you can't tell if he's 40 or 35. It's magic.
Body at the football stadium, having completed his middle-aged white man character arc by dying and stepping aside to make way for someone more diverse. Now, what can I say about this show except I can't think of many projects where the influences and intentions of the writers are more glaringly obvious than Lanterns. Instead of making a show about intergalactic space cops going on cosmic adventures and battling all manners of weird and wonderful alien threats, they instead decided to make a Temu version of True Detective, complete with bleak, cynical, and most...
there might be something there. I don't know what show that is. I'll have to watch it. But with Penguin, that was kind of what they were doing. They're like, okay, it'll be like Walmart version of Sopranos meets Batman. But I actually liked a lot of the episodes of Penguin. This is better than Penguin so far, I would say. But yeah, that is kind of like HBO's like kind of doing that a little bit. But I think overall Penguin was actually pretty good. There were a few things that were kind of weird though. And Penguin did get a little woke with Falcone's daughter. She got, anyway. But it was good though. It was still a decent show.
unlikable characters who constantly have to swear to prove just how edgy they are, patched together with all the tedious tropes of modern Hollywood writing and the usual.
Yeah, well, how about you show us an example? What are these Hollywood tropes that you're talking about? Like you could say that it's there, but I don't think you're actually going to show us, are you?
Laundry list of safe, predictable political targets like Republicans, small town America.
Hey, one thing I can respect about Drinker, at least he knows who watches his videos, I guess. Like, he knows that it's mostly a political thing, so.
America and immigration policy. And holy fuck balls, is it tedious.
Jeremy Burtzart says, hello, JJ. Why, hello there. Wait, I didn't do that right. Just a second. I did not do that right at all. Let me see if I can. Can I do a better job? Let's try this.
Hello there.
There we go. There we go. Hello there. All right. Thank you, Jeremy Burtzart. It's good to see you, man. Even though I keep thinking you're Obi-Wan, you should just change your name to Obi-Wan Kenobi, your YouTube name.
It's nothing but a standard police procedural with some vague superhero elements mixed in, made by people with no understanding of police procedures and no affection for superheroes. Not only is it
Wilberforce Booster said, "You know who's making fun of Republicans? George Lucas in the Star Wars prequels. So what?" Yeah, that is kind of what he said actually when he met with James Cameron. I mean, maybe that is a little retroactive. And there were some things in the Star Wars prequels that got cut that were kind of actually a little libertarian. I don't know for sure exactly what George is politically, but yeah, you're right. He did say that at least.
crushingly slow and dull, stretching out the runtime with pointless side quests and putting characters into holding patterns while the plot catches up with them, but it also literally spells out everything that's happened.
Kind of like your videos. Your videos spell out everything you want to say. Like you don't really like interpret anything. You don't like show clips. You just say, it's the Last Jedi. They hate Republicans. They literally want to disembowel you. Jabba, the ender of Finatra Stream, says, JJ thought Star Wars was real history. Okay, hey, Jabba, to be fair, I hadn't seen TV before, and as an Amish person who'd never seen TV, those effects look pretty real. It was kind of hard to convince me that it was fake. It's like if you show a baby magic tricks, and you're going to think that the magician actually pulled the pencil out of his ear. So, stop making fun of me.
Just in case you weren't paying attention, which to be fair you probably weren't. Like at one point when John goes to a barbecue at evil redneck guy's house only to discover the old lady that he fucked in a parking lot the night before. Oh yeah, that's the thing which happens. Is the guy
That part was weird. I didn't really like that part actually, because a huge part of it I'm like, dude, you could pull way better. Like that's it. I'm sure that there was probably more people in rural Nebraska who have African fever, that they have the Black Plague, and they probably would have thrown themselves at John's feet. And he went with like this 50-year-old smoker lady, but young Klippa, he was kind of pushing back a little bit against me saying that, in my last stream, and he was going, well, it's showing how vulnerable Jon Stewart is. And how, like, he's just kind of wanting to please people. That was interesting. So he's like, it's character development. And, I guess so. I just don't really like that stuff, It was gross to me. I'm like, dude, like, your wee-wee is going to be falling off. Like, who knows where that's been? But I don't know. Maybe it didn't fall off. Maybe he didn't get herpes. He might be okay. I just felt like she was, it's like, would you let an alley cat sleep in your bed? Would you?
Guy's wife, and the dude says this to him as he leaves.
Nothing better than eating off another man's grill.
I mean, okay, it's a bit...
Okay. Yeah, I get it. That was weird, but I think what he was trying to say is I know, and he wasn't happy about it. Doesn't mean he liked it. Like, it wasn't asking him to eat off his grill again. Yeah, so I guess he has issues with his wife. His wife's a bit of a problem child, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting drama, I guess.
As he leaves.
Nothing better than eating off another man's grill.
I mean, okay, it's a bit cringy, but at least it gives you a bit of a hint about how much the man really knows. Then fucking Hal has to immediately jump in with this absolute clanger.
I definitely slept with his wife.
And he knows?
Apparently.
I mean, it's like the writers have never even heard of the idea of subtext. Honestly, Damon Lindelof should have been banned from ever writing anything again, ever, after the absolute embarrassment of Watchmen, but somehow this bald, pretentious retard just keeps failing upwards in Hollywoods. Let that be a lesson to you, kids. It's not what you know, or even who you know, it's what you say that matters in that industry. In terms of character work, pretty much everyone except Hal is an unlikable arsehole in this show, and most of that comes down to Kyle Chandler doing his best with some pretty shocking material. Aaron Pierre, on the other hand, is an absolute block of wood, with all the personality and charisma of a love child between Sam Worthington and Sophie Turner. Jesus, how is this guy supposed to carry the entire show? I was bored of him after like 1 episode. Ultimately,
Well, maybe he just needs to get humble and maybe he'll become less annoying. I don't know. White Guy McGee said these women are disloyal for sure. Carbon Heart said terrible. Yeah, it's disgusting. It is. But it does make you dislike that character as a woman, doesn't it? I mean, that woman character. It makes you not like her at all.
Lanterns is pretty much exactly what I expected when you take the political obsessions of Damon Lindelof and try to plant them in the creative wasteland of James Gunn's DCU by James Gunn. It's a show that combines the worst of every world, and I don't imagine I'm going to be wasting much more time on it. Not when there's much better things I could be doing.
Okay. Well, that was his take. So as far as like Hal dying in the first episode, I don't like that. However, I don't know how much time is going to be spent in 2016. Hopefully more. And hopefully that was just kind of a cold open to get you excited. And hopefully there will also be some type of rebirth. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I could end up with egg on my face. Maybe the next few episodes are bad. But if they are, I promise you I'll make like an actual video about why it's bad. I won't just vaguely be like, terrible writing. It's not good. It's The Last Jedi. It's literally The Last Jedi. Like, I'll do more than that, okay? So let's take a kind of a quick look at Nerdrotic. Let's take a quick look at Nerdrotic because he also reviewed this. His review is like 25 minutes long. Oh my gosh. We're not going to EFAP the whole thing. It's 25 minutes. And the funny thing is like 8 minutes of it aren't actually a review. He just kind of like, he was kind of spouting off random trivia facts, sort of like that alien that we saw in the interrogation room, just telling you like, yeah, Green Lantern, there's a Green Lantern named Kyle Rayner, and he had a girlfriend, and he found her dead in his fridge. Like, that's what like 8 minutes of this are. So I guess his purpose in doing that was kind of trying to establish authority, maybe. But he even in that part, he goes, well, I don't know that much about Green Lantern. I'm not like a super huge fan. So it's like, I don't know, like what was the whole point of that? And he does that kind of as a bit of a caveat. But it's like, if you weren't really a huge fan of this, then maybe why are you talking about it? But I get it. Like, maybe this is kind of one thing that my YouTube channel lacks is if there's something, if I don't feel like there's a huge urge to talk about something, I might go dormant for a week or a month or more, you know. And that's not great for YouTube growth at all.
Lanterns because we all agreed that the green was stupid. It was never something that I necessarily.
Wilberforce Booster said, Wes didn't like it. I assume they're real critiques here. Yeah, you don't have to like everything that I like. Someone could have valid reasons why they don't like it. I'm just saying that these aren't real critiques. And I like Wes, actually. I like his channel. I don't always agree with him, but I think he has a great... Out of like all the people who talk about like current comics that are being printed every week, he's the best channel at it, in my opinion, on YouTube. There are plenty of channels who do it. Most of them are kind of people who are about my age, and they're kind of just TikTok influencers. They're like, here's a comic book. Like, I have a variant cover. But yeah, Wes, actually, he does great coverage. I like it. I like Wes. And yeah, Wes might disagree with me. And I'll actually EFAP that later. Because I think that would be kind of an interesting discussion. But I don't think Wes is the same as Nerdrotic. Every YouTuber makes mistakes. Every YouTuber will maybe not have the best coverage of certain things, but
It's called Lanterns because we all agreed that the green was stupid. It was never something that I necessarily felt like, oh my God, I've got to make a Green Lanterns TV show or a Green Lanterns movie.
I have Damon Lindelof on the show, one of the great writers of all time. Let him cook.
The way that it was presented to me at first by James Gunn and Peter Safran, and Tom had pitched it as True Detective.
It's like, this is, I don't know. Can you guys see how this is made for the lowest common denominator? It's like bullet, gunshot wound to the head.
It may not be canonical, but you know, times they are a changing.
Hal Jordan at the beginning of the series feels like a bit of a beat-up has-been. Certainly doesn't feel like Earth's Green Lantern.
We had a card.
Okay, so they're playing that, and that actually is something that happened. Like, Hal did kind of start to get a little aged and tired, and he became evil. Like, that's a thing in the comic book. So all these people who are like, Hal's not like the perfect epitome of like, you know, the hero archetype. Well, that's true. You know, if you're a fan of the comics, that's something that happened. So, what's the big deal?
Tune called Super Friends. It's a pretty mundane prop. It's not Excalibur. There's this level of excitement that we experience when we hear that something new is coming, and then we also are like, this better not suck.
Nerdrotic.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million hellions and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. Stating the obvious because...
It's a very passive-aggressive way to get people to subscribe, but I guess good. It is good he has a call to the action that soon in the video. This is actually kind of what I would imagine Nerdrotic looking like if I didn't know what he looked like. I would probably imagine he'd look like this, kind of.
Let's face it, that's what we do here a lot on YouTube. James Gunn's DCU needs a win in the worst way. Why, you ask, dear viewer? Good question.
It's just funny to me how he tries to like these shots. He tries to get like, I don't know, these shots where they're not the most aesthetically pleasing and they're shot that way on purpose. They're kind of supposed to look not charming, and then I don't know. It really is. It's just like low tier. It is really like low tier content the way he does things.
Because they haven't had one. Heavily depending on what day you ask James Gunn. According to James Gunn, the James Gunn's DCU started...
Okay, but do you guys see how this whole part, how he's like, James Gunn's DCU needs a huge win at this point? Like, this is all about sales metrics. This is all about business. This is all about business. Like, he isn't actually talking about the art.
With Creature Commandos, a cartoon.
And he's looking at it like a sports game, which is interesting because I guess that keeps, like psychologically, it's interesting he does that. And it probably keeps people watching, but it's just, I don't know. It's not really how it works.
That nobody watched. That's at least until the movie Clayface comes out later this year, which is technically, according to James Gunn, the first story in James Gunn's James Gunn. Creature Commandos was followed by the other beginning of James Gunn's DCU, Superman's James Gunn. And according to James Gunn and Warner Brothers, this was a cultural phenomenon, the summer sensation of 2025, at least until Ted Sarandos spoke to Congress.
Routinely, movies that underperform, the window moves a little bit. And Superman was a little shorter window and Sinners was a little longer window.
That was followed by...
See, that's like, they're all just talking about sales metrics.
Peacemaker Season 2 featuring James Gunn's wife having sex with superheroes, which lost 40% of its audience from Season 1, which...
Yeah, that's, I don't like that.
Also might have been the start of James Gunn's DCU. But wherever James Gunn's DCU started, I think the history books will look back and find a definitive point of its...
I feel like Nerdrotic feeds his dog like that, but Vito definitely does. Vito Giswaldi has like a giant bowl of tuna salad that he like spoon feeds to his cat, and then he eats it himself. I promise you that happens.
End when Supergirl was released, where it will go down as the biggest flop of 2026, losing upwards of $200 million. Just when you thought things couldn't get worse, they did by orders of magnitude when this little movie called Spider-Man Brand New Day was released just over a month later.
Okay, so this whole beginning part is just sales metrics. And then now he tries to sort of get into like, I'm a Green Lantern fan.
Forward to a Kyle Chandler, Hal Jordan, and an Aaron Pierre John Stewart. But then I read the plot leaks for episode 1, and unfortunately, they were true. Full disclosure, I've never been the biggest Green Lantern fan, and my favorite Green...
And so he does this too, like this part right here, he's trying to make himself have a caveat like wiggle room. So if I'm wrong, oh, sorry, I'm not a huge fan. So he's kind of trying to he's kind of trying to avoid responsibility. But then after this, he does the opposite. He tries to sort of build authority by saying, I am a Green Lantern fan, though, because I know X, Y, and Z.
Green Lantern is Guy Gardner from Justice League International. Now, I've enjoyed some stuff. Emerald Dawn is brilliant. I've liked some Kyle.
So right here, he's trying to say Emerald Dawn is brilliant and written by a pedophile. But that's okay. We got to separate art from the artist. You know, you can't separate Mark Hamill from Luke Skywalker, but we can separate Gerard Jones from his work, even though he was like a literal pedophile, which is weird to me. That's a very huge incongruency. You know, I try and separate art from the artist, you know? Like, I'm not gonna lie, you know, his run of the Green Lantern was pretty good. It was pretty well written, and it was super instrumental in creating the mythos. But yeah, kind of weird. But anyway, yeah. So we have to always bring up how Mark Hamill allegedly, and that was just according to his son's baby mama trying to pressure her into getting an abortion. But then she has since apologized kind of for that leak and gone on to say, like, yeah, he's actually a good grandpa. Like, be nice to him. Stop attacking my daughter, please. And yeah, he can't do that, but he can separate Gerard Jones from his pedophilia. That's pretty crazy.
True. Full disclosure, I've never been the biggest Green Lantern fan, and my favorite Green Lantern is Guy Gardner from Justice League International. Now, I've enjoyed.
So yeah, after saying he wasn't a huge Green Lantern fan to avoid accountability, now he's trying to make it sound like he has authority. But he's like, Emerald Dawn, you know what that is? Do you know who Guy Gardner is? Did you know he was with the Justice League?
Some stuff, Emerald.
And by the way, you can see actually, this goes to my whole theory that I see that James Gunn is largely pulling stuff from that time period, the Gerard Jones time period, because, you know, this is like Guy Gardner working with the Justice League, just like what we saw in the Superman movie. And then we have kind of this aged, jaded Hal Jordan, which is what we saw with the Gerard Jones run. That is kind of what the show's, that is like a huge inspiration. That time period, like the late 80s, that seems to largely be where James Gunn is getting his like comic inspiration from. And that kind of makes sense because that was probably when he was reading comic books. And I do think he was someone who liked comic books. It does kind of come out in his work.
Dawn is brilliant. I've liked some Kyle Rayner stuff, and his run's most unintended notable contribution to the comic book industry was his girlfriend being stuffed into a refrigerator, leading to Gail Simone, someone who loves their refrigerator, to coin the term fridging.
She loves her refrigerator because she's fat. I don't like Gail Simone, obviously. But right here, though, he's info dumping to establish authority. After saying he's not a Green Lantern fan, he's like, look, I'm a Green Lantern fan. I know what fridging means. I'm telling you, and you didn't know what it means because you obviously don't really actually care about the Green Lantern. He's feeding this to normies. This goes back to my whole thing of like, this is an alien sitting at the table where he's pretending to be human. He's pretending to know about all of the things that humans do, but it's just a surface level. He read it on Wikipedia. It's not what he actually thinks. It's not organic. It's not things he learned from his life experiences. That's what we see. It's an outrage thing where they just read Wikipedia pages. That way they can feel like they're an actual fan, and then they act emotionally just like they have this huge emotional tragedy every time one of these things comes out. And I shouldn't say one of these things, because sometimes they do pretend that they like it.
To Gail Simone, someone who loves their refrigerator, to coin the term fridging. What is fridging? It is a literary and media trope defined as killing, harming, or incapacitating a character, typically a female love interest or family.
Okay, so again, this has nothing to do with the Green Lantern show at all. I know why he's doing this. He's trying to say I am an authoritative figure, even though I previously said I don't actually like the Green Lantern. But, okay, whatever. All of this should be cut out. Whoever he's hiring as his editor, what are you doing? I guess like he hopes that making a bloated video will give him more ad revenue. Maybe it does, but does it? He could have done this whole thing in 9 minutes. And one thing I can't say to Drinker's credit, his video was under 8 minutes long. He didn't stretch it out for the ad revenue. So.
Mystery Box Show. And what is Mystery Box? Well, it's a storytelling cheat where you can avoid those pesky things like continuity, logic, story arcs, or characterization.
Okay, I have a video about this, about mystery boxes. I have several videos actually about it. The one that you should watch where I talk about this is I have a video actually about Brandon Sanderson and how Mistborn was better than why Brandon Sanderson hates Disney Star Wars. I talk a lot about mystery boxes here, so you guys should maybe watch that video sometime if you want to learn more about mystery boxes. What he's saying is true. Mystery boxes, it is bad. It is kind of a cheat code. It's where a writer says, "Hey, instead of actually planning out the plot, instead of trying to take the reader somewhere, we'll just wait every episode to see how they react to things. We'll have think tanks. We'll show them little clips and see which clip that they like. We'll just have some dramatic thing happen each episode to keep you engaged, and then we'll keep doing that for 100 episodes. That's how Lost was made. Lost was extremely dramatic though, and it worked because it was a serial show. Every week there was a new episode. It was kind of stringing you along and making you want to see what would happen next. I don't think that The Lanterns is a mystery box, though. It is a mystery. It's an investigative show. It's not a mystery box because there's only 8 episodes. So they're clearly trying to take you somewhere. It isn't just nowhere. Like, there actually is a setup. There is some larger looming story that we can see that's happening. There is this great mystery. What happened to Hal Jordan? How did he die? That's not going to be found out in the next episode. It's going to be found out closer to the end.
That hooks the audience by packing the story with unanswered questions.
So now he's saying this because he's like, The Last Jedi, because Lindelof was tangentially related to J.J. Abrams because they both worked on Lost. It's different, though. They're not working with each other now, and it's not the same method that he used. And I have to say, even though I don't really like the method used for Lost, it worked very well for the TV medium. It got everybody to tune in every week, and Lost was extremely popular. It was one of the most popular shows to date. There was a time when it was the most popular show ever. But so I think that Lindelof has kind of he does have some good writing cred, but he also has some baggage with the Watchmen show.
Random events, hidden secrets, and gradual reveals that keeps curiosity high the way it is right before you open a Christmas present, which leads the audience to do theory crafting where most of it won't even happen.
Okay, so up to here, he's still not talking about the show. Okay, so real quick. Glass Machine says mystery boxes are real, but not everything is a mystery box. That is true. Not every mystery is a mystery box. It is a mystery, but not a mystery box.
Lantern fan in the world, except for those excellent comics by Jeff Johns in the 2000s. And
Wait, Jeff Johns? Who else? Who illustrated him, Gary? Who illustrated these comics? Jeff Johns. Who else illustrated him? Say his name. Say his name. Hit me. Can you say? Can I have a feeling that if Nerdrotic ever says Ethan Van Sciver, like he'll melt, he'll spontaneously combust, like the Wicked Witch of the West. I don't think he can say it. I think he's biologically incapable. It's like a code word where if he says it, he'll just explode. So.
Lantern fan in the world, except for those excellent comics by Jeff Johns in the 2000s. And I know Snyder.
Yeah, Wilberforce Wooster. Nerdrotic can say Gail Simone, but not EVS. Shows you how he is.
Bros, you don't like Jeff Johns, but the guy's a damn good comic book writer. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't recall other people being able to use a Green Lantern ring, or people would just be chopping fingers off everywhere. Kyle Rayner had a DNA lock, and Hal Jordan's had become...
Okay, well, Hal actually took Abin Sur's ring. That was in that comic Emerald Dawn, which you said you loved. You said you loved Emerald Dawn. Did you read it, or did you just look at the cover? Did you go on Wikipedia and say, hey, what's a popular Green Lantern story? You probably should have checked, though, to see the rap sheet of the guy who wrote it. Though people shouldn't be looking at your rap sheet either. But yeah, Hal actually uses Abin Sur's ring. Did you read it? Apparently not.
A part of him. But in HBO's Lanterns, Jon Stewart can use Hal Jordan's ring, and Hal Jordan trains him.
Yeah. Just like Hal Jordan used Abin Sur's ring. You said that you read Emerald Dawn and you said that you loved it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, you're wrong, dude.
By handing his ring to Jon Stewart as he jumps out of a speeding car that's about to drive off a cliff. Which
Hey, it is kind of cool he did that.
admittedly is not as bad as your own father shooting an apple off your head. Of course, Jon Stewart survives because he's going to be the main Green Lantern in the probably short.
Yeah, Wilberforce Booster. He already has a counter. I'm not actually a fan of Green Lantern, but I am an authoritative figure because I know what fridging means. I know what fridging is, so I actually am an authoritative figure, but I'm not a fan. Yeah, it's retarded. That's what I hate about his stuff is it's so paradoxical. On the one hand, he'll be like, it's so terrible, it's so bad.
Lived James Gunn's DCU, and while on his way to go meet Hal Jordan at a taco shop, he comes across a construct.
Yeah, at a taco shop. Yeah, because that's what Hal Jordan said he wanted to do. He wanted to go to a taco shop. It shows you that Hal Jordan is kind of relaxed. He's laid back, and he's a little cocky. You know, and that is Hal Jordan's character. He is like that. Like, Hal Jordan is a little low-key in some ways, but also, like, really strung up in others. You know, it sounds kind of paradoxical, but it makes sense. Like, he's kind of a low-key guy, but he's also kind of intense at the same time. So, yeah, he's at a taco shop. Because he was like, I'm going to go get tacos. And then he just nonchalant jumps out of the car. Like, that's, it's funny. And going back to the dad thing about the dad shooting the apple off his head, he's kind of like, it's sort of like that. It's like, yeah, that's called character development. This isn't a mystery box. It's showing you how maybe Hal is being a little abusive like his dad was, and he has some past trauma. And so, yeah, you know, Jon Stewart is a little unlikable here. I'm not going to lie. But, that just makes you go, okay, well, Hal Jordan is likable, but he's also a little unlikable too in his own ways. But, you know, you expect to see some character development, but it also kind of, all of this whole thing where they're replacing the white man, this whole thing that they like, this whole narrative they're running with, you know, all the feminists who were crying were proven wrong. And then also people come away liking Hal more than Jon Stewart, which is based because Hal's is a better lantern than Jon Stewart is.
Of Hal Jordan manifested by the ring. This construct is of a 10-year younger Hal Jordan who's much nicer than the 2016.
Yeah, because he got jaded. That happens. Sometimes when you get older, life sucks and, you know, you get grouchy.
Version of Hal Jordan who's
think of how much stress Hal Jordan has. He's like the only person who's like holding down the dam. It's like Atlas holding up the world. It's stressful. And he knows he's going to die too soon because he's training a replacement. That would be pretty stressful and frustrating. Like, it shows you how the Guardians of Oa, how like autistic they are. They're like, yeah, you're gonna die. Like, can you trade someone else? The Guardians are not likable really at all. That's kind of the thing. I think like if you actually read the comics, like this stuff would make sense to you. Okay, let me go back.
Portrayed as an arrogant, lonely, alcoholic loser. Oh, and a complete idiot. Now, the construct Hal Jordan has a message for Jon Stewart to give 2016 Hal Jordan. There's hail in Rushville.
Gary's a perfect example of someone who's older that got more grumpy. Yeah, exactly. JJ wants to replace them. Yeah, it's replacement theory. This is why you have to keep your borders tight. Otherwise, you have Mexicans replacing you.
Nebraska, and once Jon Stewart gives Hal Jordan that message, he flies off. And
by the way, my cousin owns a taco shop.
Be the setting for our grand Green Lantern space adventure and another opportunity for gaming. Lindelof.
Wait, what? Another opportunity for what? Gaming?
Green Lantern space adventure and another opportunity.
I love how he's like, it's his space adventure, and then you have Critical Drinker using his ring powers. I guess like they're trying to make it sound gay and retarded. And it's like, I don't know. It is a little campy. It is a little goofy, I guess, but I like it. I like make fun of me more, I guess, for being a nerd and liking Green Lantern. But I think it's also hilarious that they're saying that on the one hand, and then they're getting mad at Lindelof for making the joke about, yeah, like the color green is dumb. You know, they on the one hand, they're doing the same thing that Lindelof is actually doing, unironically. And Lindelof was, by the way, he was wearing a green shirt at the time. So probably ironic, probably just a bad joke. But even if it's not, they're doing the same thing right now.
opportunity for Damon Lindelof to show off his clear disdain for middle America. Now, Lanterns is really trying hard to be True Detective, but there's also a little Taylor Sheridan mixed in there too. And during my watch party for my members, I mentioned I wouldn't be surprised if Damon Lindelof takes a shot at Taylor Sheridan, and he kind of did. What do you bet we get a shot at, like, Taylor Sheridan?
All right, let's this is like weird drama
in this series.
A few minutes later.
Sheridan County. Did I not say they would take a shot at Sheridan?
Maybe. Or maybe it's just a reference. All right, let's go to the end. Because all this stuff where he's saying like how he hates the show, let's see how he wraps it up.
And if you didn't want to call it Green Lantern, you could have just called it
Well, remember how you were making fun of Green Lantern a few minutes ago? You're like, it's a space adventure. It's like, well, yeah, that's what the Green Lantern is, dude.
Explained away, and it wasn't. What I do know is this is more subverting expectations and deconstructing. And if you didn't want to call it Green Lantern, you could have just called it Deconstructing Hal.
Based on what?
I have a feeling.
He has a feeling.
I have a very strong feeling.
Yeah, and so you call well, he's saying that's deconstructing, but Hal becomes vindicated. His intuition was right. It's your feeling. Women should know about women. They have feelings too, but it's different. Like they have like, you know, oh, I'm upset at you. You know, I'm hormonal, but Hal, you know, it was an intuition thing. But anyway, no, in all seriousness, that was a bad joke. Sorry. What I'm trying to say here, Hal Jordan ends up being vindicated. Like, yeah, they were being annoying. They were trying to be funny. I mean, they were trying to like push him down, but he ends up actually ends up becoming right. You can't trust the Allahu Akbar aliens. So.
Well, I got it the old-fashioned way. I sure as hell didn't interview for it.
Oh, shit, maybe you should have.
Good Christ, he really is full of himself.
It almost seems like you want to die, Hal Jordan.
But he is a little reckless. He is a test pilot.
First time he strutted up to me, I could tell Jordan doesn't care about anybody.
Which is a shame because I really like Kyle Chandler's Hal Jordan, Aaron Pierre as John Stewart, and I really...
I like it. It's like this whole time I've been pooping on it. I actually like it.
Really don't want to not like John Stewart. And the rest of the cast is fine as well. The only problems I have are the words they are speaking and the leaps in...
So this whole time, like, he's trying to say how much he hates it, and then it just becomes, actually, I like it. I'm becoming manic watching this. What the God said, I used your channel to look at some of the things Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers has been saying. Looked up old clips of him saying that he liked The Last Jedi. Only says what he says because he gets clicks. Exactly. I mean, hey, I appreciate you, what you got. I'm really sorry I haven't been able to. I know I need to let you on sometime. We need to hang out. The problem is we're both working men. We have jobs. We're busy. But you know, if we were like high schoolers, if we went to the same high school, I feel like we would have been friends. Okay, I thought it was called Lanterns because it's not just green. It's not just green. Yes, there are other colors on the spectrum. It's like autism. There's a whole spectrum of colors.
Logic that I won't be able to judge until the very end of the 8th episode because this is mystery box storytelling. That being said, and believe me, this isn't much.
It's not mystery box storytelling. It's mystery storytelling. There's 8 episodes, so there is very clearly a place they're trying to lead us to. Hal died. How did he die? That's the hook, and then we'll figure it out as the episodes go on.
Of a compliment, this might be the best DCU because it managed to trip over a bar that was laying on the ground. And if you think I'm being a little biased because I had to sit through Damon Lindelof's Watchmen, you'd be right. To state the obvious, this is only the first episode, and I'm going to let it play out because the death of Hal Jordan might be all part of Hal Jordan's plan for all I know. And it does sound like Lindelof is backing off a little bit because there's been a lot of clapback, but that was the point of murdering Hal Jordan in the first episode. They absolutely wanted that clapback and the shock factor. Damon Lindelof says, I think another one of the tropes, which it's interesting that you bring up tropes since there's so many in just the first episode of Lanterns, of the rural mystery show is that we don't really care that much about the victims. I can't even tell you the name of the dead girl in True Detective, Dora Lang.
You don't care about the victims, but you because that hasn't been touched on yet, and they don't know who the victims are. But what you care about is you care about Hal getting disrespected, Hal not being recognized for who he is. You know, It's like the white guy who nobody wants to listen to because they think they're a smart girl who doesn't have to listen to nobody. You know who we shouldn't have to listen to? There's someone we shouldn't have to listen to. I'm gonna subject you to him really briefly. We shouldn't have to listen to this guy, Patrick Quinlan.
Is this
Who
an
is this
AI
guy?
voice? Did you do
Patrick
the voice?
Quinlan?
Who did the voice?
It's